And of course, if Diamond is going to go for his Rod of Ages in Italy, they're becoming a bit more of a bruiser, but still, of course, going for a lot of AP.
Give him a bit more scaling, too. So I really do like that we have these very clearly defined compositions for these teams.
Oh, yeah.
We're pretty
very different.
Pretty early.
Very different.
In this situation, just given what we know about the teams and how they've been performing and the level they're coming up to, who is this riskier for? Giants or Gambit?
So running a poke composition is always extremely risky in the case that you tend to lack something to make your comp all around. In this case, you have like no engage. Your engage is going to be Bard landing his ulti and then like Fist teleporting in. Like that's how you're going to start a fight basically. That's not really enough for Gambit. So they rely on being able to group up, land this poke in, not fall behind, so we can get engages coming from Giants left and right and they just fall flat on their face from Gambit's side.
Yeah, we'll see if that's what happens or if maybe it's the other way around. In the meantime, why don't you guys tell us what you think? Tweet at LL Esports. The hashtags are GIA win or GMB win. We'll have to see if Gambit's going to see another mid-split win streak. They're already off to 2. Let's see if they can get a third here as they load up against Giants Gaming. We're on to the Rift.
I'm really excited to see the 2 different comps here and how they play out. We have seen a lot of Corki from Forgiven. It's the only AD carry he's managed to win on here in
and he tried a lot
in the summers, but he's tried a lot of different ones. There's a lot of talk last split about Forgiven and the lack of champion pool. It was Graves and Lucian every single game. Now Graves have been nerfed quite a lot. Cinderhulk as well didn't really favor him. So Forgiven has been trying different ones, and now Gambit, as we said, poke focused. A lot of kite coming in, split pushing from Capo Shot on his own. And I really want to see what Eddie can do in this Bard as well. It's always fantastic to see that champion. I know Crepo shares the same opinion, and I've tried to listen whenever Crepo was talking about Bard. That guy knows like everything about the champion.
Whenever Crepo starts talking about Bard, I just kind of like, I try to listen and then I just hear the sound of chimes. So, speaking of, we'll see how this one starts off. Right now it's a line of scrimmage. Nothing super unusual, but a lot of warding, just trying to feel out where everybody is. I don't really feel like there's going to be a lane swap or an attempted one this game. We've seen a lot, though, in the last few weeks.
It's only if Giants wanted to try and shut down Capo Shot a little bit. They've seen now he's not running Smite, obviously, so he's going to be weaker in a 1v2 situation. But for now, it looks like we just get the standard lanes instead. Kalista, Alistar. I want to see what Adri and Godfrey can do on it. Another support for Godfrey now. There's not Morgana. Has been banned away, of course. And the only one, as you said, in Champs like he's managed to win on. But really, this pick and ban phase for Gambit, they gave away so many power picks to Giants. 4 out of 5 picks from Giants here. Some of the most contested one. Or was it 3 out of 5 with Kalista, Alistar, and the Rek'Sai. Even, I guess, the Rumble is up there.
Not to mention, it's really difficult if you want to play these comfortable choices to not give that up. But that shows that either Gambit are very, very confident in their comfortability or they're just not respecting Giants here. And again, Giants, they've not won against top-tier teams. This is a test for them.
Well, I don't think it's about disrespecting Giants. I think it's Gambit saying, we really like poke in this current meta here. We really feel like we can play these compositions out. Betsy has shown many times that he's very comfortable on the likes of Lulu. So I think it's more Gambit saying, we have a clear plan, and we don't mind giving up some power picks. Godfrey.
Talk about a clear plan.
So Eddie managed to get a lot of XP from that Grump they took here. Forgiven still didn't hit level 2. I didn't manage to see how they did it or how they messed it up almost.
Neither of Audrey or Godfrey right now. Now the Forgiven's hit 2. They're zoning them away from this farm. It's going to be really, really hard for Audrey if this keeps up for a while. We'll check in on that as it develops. Pepinero is taking a bit of damage. A lot of harass from the Glitter Lance and the health picks of Betsy. So right now, Gambit's lanes are doing quite solid. Cabochard pushing it on the top.
Yeah.
This should open up avenues for Frederick to roam around, but he's a little bit more preoccupied right now in his first jungle clear.
Jumping over. We have seen him go back to the style of let's camp a little bit for Cabochard. Let him play some carry top laners. And we know it's going to be super effective. He's going to find Frederick here, who's taking a very slow route. He's cleared almost his entire jungle. And now he's have to fight Diamond and the blue buff.
This is not going to be good for Frederick. He's got his red ticking away, but Diamond should be able to slow him down a little bit. Lets the blue reset. And Frederick, the rest of Giants, they are not off to a great start. Let's see if Diamond jumps in. Nope. Spear's not going to connect. The Sand Shark will manage to get away for now. Let's see if Diamond procs continues that harass up. I'm really interested to see not just his build path, but how it develops as it goes. For now, all the lanes pretty much pushed in except for the middle. You see Frederick hovering around there too. Diamond, though, still in the area if they need a counter gank.
Yeah, very much. Let's see. Frederick coming down. So they're level 1 or level 2 here for GMB. Obviously, he got a few chimes, so he got a bit extra XP. That's why he got it first. But Forgiven, he's in trouble.
Oh, he is burning away, and Frederick will come in and snipe him with the Praise Seeker. Now they're going in onto GMB. He won't last long. Goodbye, and Audrey will pick up another. Giants now off to 2 kills to none.
Oh, and that was after GMB getting a good start down the bottom lane. I just talked about how GMB got a bit of early XP from roaming around the map, picking up the chimes there. Then he shared the Grump with Forgiven. He went aggressive. They had a good start, but now caught out very far up the lane. Great gank coming in from Frederick as well. Just looking at the situation, saying, well, you haven't been out to ward for a while, so it's probably clear for me to just walk straight in. And you pushed all the way up. 2 kills. And he got every single summoner as well on that gank.
Yeah, and this is the problem with being as extended as they were. They didn't respect the fact that Frederick could come in there and pick them up. They didn't respect the damage that Audrey and Godfred could put out. And as a result, that fantastic start for Gambit's bot lane has turned completely against them.
And this is a problem for Gambit. We talked about one of the risks here if you run these poke kite compositions. If you start falling behind and you're simply not weak enough to take team fights, then whenever you start grouping and poking, there's a lot of chances for Giants to just force a team fight on you and win it because they're simply that much stronger in this case here. Gambit has to rely on the fact that they can land enough poke and they can force Giants to hesitate when it comes to starting fights to then get the advantage. It's not even about killing people for Gambit, it's about poking them back to base so you can take towers, you can take objectives, and that's how you start snowballing your lead. But they're gonna wait till the mid game here. You want that Trinity Force on Forgiven, you want one item on Betsy as well. Cover shot now. He's gonna jump on Wooly. Both junglers are near the top lane.
Yeah, so we'll see how this Cinderhulk less fizz develops, but Frederick's up there. It means he's going to have to take the expressway back to base and grab himself a little bit of respite. What do you think of Cabochard going on this? It is kind of a him champion, but I'm really surprised at the lack of Cinderhulk.
Well, here in Europe, we never really got to see too many top laners really favor Smite. Like let's say when it comes to Hecarim, a lot of guys were running Ignite as well because they want more early pressure, they want more lane power. Diamond Prox here, he might be in trouble.
Yeah, there's the equalizer going down, but Diamond Prox doesn't take too much damage. Meanwhile, back to the bottom side, GMB is the one that Godfred and Audrey decide to target as Godfred picks him up. Audrey sitting in the bush trying to kite away from Forgiven. He's very low and he avoids a phosphorus bomb. A 1-for-none pickup. Giants continue to roll forward. Gold's still pretty even though.
It is so hard to play against a lane like Kalista, Alistar if you start falling behind. They can just constantly force fights and trades on you. The Kalista will out-trade the Corki in this case. The Alistar is tanky enough to just jump in on GMB every single time. And Giants are really taking full advantage of that start. Forgiven though, he's sticking to his true style of always farming like a madman, and he's still 10 CS up. But Audrey has gotten the kill and 2 assists.
Yeah, so it's really starting to trend towards Giants right now. Gambit are still trying to make these moves. Well, Prox is moving around, but they're not really getting anything for it.
Giants have the kills, but if you look at the farm, I mean, look at the top lane here. Cabochard is destroying that lane for himself. The Lulu in the mid lane are also beating out the Diana here. So Gambit, despite giving up a lot of kills, it's very close in goal, and Cabochard is going to be such a key member because he's the only guy who's going to apply split pushing threat from Gambit here. And nobody's going to be able to stop him from Giants, especially not if he continues becoming this strong here. I mean, he's completely free farming, denying a lot of farm as well from Whirlip. So Giants have to worry about that lane.
Yeah, well, he's got minions at his back. He sends out Chum the Waters. Whirlip is actually going to have to flash this. So Cabochard, as long as there's no help from Frederick, Whirlip is in a world of hurt. You know, it's worth noting too, this is the first time he's played Rumble this split. He's really looked a lot more comfortable on, obviously, the Maokai, the Jax. That was banned away, and you can see with good reason for Gambit.
Yeah, Jax is one of these picks where we think, oh, okay, you don't have to ban the Jax, you know. I mean, he's been playing all the champions, maybe he won't pick it. Teams left it open, he took it twice in a row, and he just performed really, really well. So it's back to being banned. Too bad for you, Whirlip, on that one. Diamond trying to see if he can go for a dive. This is what you often see in the top lane. If these lanes here start putting a lot of pressure on them, the junglers can then move in behind him, but in mid lane as well.
Speaking of junglers, Betsy finds a Sand Shark in his lane. He has to use his ultimate just to try and stay alive. Peppy has to back, doesn't have any more gas left in the tank. Whirlip will get a brief break as Diamond went down to deal with that Rek'Sai from Frederick, and he'll get some free farm as of course, Cabochard backs the base.
Yeah, Cabochard a little bit too low to really do anything there. Didn't want to risk pushing it in. He had Diamond, of course. Could also just be him sitting ready in case Frederick showed himself towards the top lane. He was sitting there in Tribush. Quick trade he could have taken, but Frederick decided to gank the mid lane instead. Bottom lane, Forgiven, still ahead in CS, but giving up kills him and GoSuPepper together. And it's really been a bit of a problem for them. Both him and Cabochard obviously aiming for that first Trinity Force before Gambit really turns on the power.
Well, despite the fact that you know, one of the kills was Frederick picking it up, he sniped it away. Yeah, it really has been. This 2v2's just not gone Gambit's way so far. They're waiting on their power spikes. They're waiting to become more relevant so that they can contribute to this, what will Gambit hope to be a never-ending poke war that they come out on top of. But Giants, they really want to get the ball rolling on this. Gold, as you mentioned though, still very, very even. That farm advantage up in the top contributing a lot. The farm advantage in the mid is also starting to widen. It's pretty much even everywhere else, but that's mostly for the fact that Forgiven and GoSuPepper have had a rough time. Yeah,
so as long as they just play safe now, like, don't risk giving up more kills, then Gambit are still looking great. By the fact they're winning these two solo lanes, especially the top lane, is so important. Keep mentioning how Cabochard is going to be a key member in this game here. He's already on his way towards the Trinity Force. This is what we talk about when you don't run the smite, which we see some top laners simply decide not to do here in Europe, to be stronger in the early game, to be stronger in the laning phase, and it's paying off for him. Diamond, he's looking for Pepinero.
It's paying off for Diamond right now as he keeps leaping on in. Peppy is under tower range, dodges away from the spear, but now he's back to the mid to help Betsy polish off this tower. And this is Diamond procs. He's really let the top, other than a few times he's hovered around there to its own devices, and I feel like this is one of the things that's helping this team grow over the last couple weeks.
And I really just like the focus from Diamond, saying, I don't need to go bottom lane. Yes, they died a few times, but they can just farm now. I'm just going to leave them. Instead, I'm going to play around our strongest members at the moment, the Lulu and the Fizz in the top lane. I'm going to play around the solo laners. Frederick, he's jumping right into them.
Yeah, that was not necessarily the best Void Rush as he's about to find out. Really low, burning away. In comes Peppy, and he dashes in. Luna Rush, there is going to be the wild growth, and Pepinero will back off. An ultimate burned. The ultimate of the Rek'Sai.
Not the smartest ulti from Frederick.
No, but Peppy was there to save his bacon.
He managed to stay alive. Got a flash from Diamond as well. But this mid tower went down. Just beautiful play around the pressure from Betsy. Pushing it down. Also, you can see the wards in the jungle of Giants. That's what happens when you lose this mid lane. Suddenly, you can invade in. Werlip, he's in trouble.
Yeah, Equalizer is down.
Or is Cabochard in trouble?
Very, very low, but Werlip realizes he can't take this fight. He's overheating. He's got the shield on. Diamond, though, has him in his sights. Will he be able to finish him? Yep. He just directs him into the jaws of Cabochard for a kill.
And once again, Gambit know they can play aggressive into solo laners because Diamond is always going to be around. They have deep wards into the jungle of Giants because they just managed to take that mid lane tower, so they opened up multiple ways to get into Giants jungle. And they're playing this pressure early on super well. And really also using the early power of this Nidalee pick. And we can see Diamond going towards the Rod of Ages like he normally does as well. It's going to make him also a bit stronger in the small duels we're going to have in this game here.
Yeah, it also gives him a little bit more late game power as well. Stay alive a little bit more, have a little extra mana and AP, all that good stuff. See how this goes in the mid lane though. Without a tower, Pepinero is going to have to probably be calling on Frederick's help a little bit more. Right now, despite the kill lead, as you mentioned, Gambit Gaming's farm has really been off the charts and they have amassed themselves about 1,500 ahead at 12.5 minutes.
We can really see how Frederick, he's looking to gank some of these solo laners here, but he never feels like he has a good chance to do it because every single time there's zero vision on where Gambit is on the map, like where Diamond is. So if you just go in as this Rek'Sai here, you risk getting counter ganked by the Nidalee. So you can see the pink wards from Gambit plays very defensively as well, basically blocking all the vision for Frederick. So he never knows when it's safe to go for a gank. So he never knows when he can help his laners. So he's forced to play more passive, and that hurts everyone on Giants. The only winning lane has been that bot lane, just from the kills. Now they're starting a dragon.
It's risky though. They're going to start going for this one. Let's see if Gambit can react in time. Forgiven will send out a big rocket just to see this going down, and there's no response, nobody in time. First dragon goes over to Giants Gaming. Now maybe they'll have a little bit more confidence with that AP boost. They've got Chum the Waters going a little bit wide on Werlib as Cabochard and Betsy look to chase him down. Back to tower, slowed up, has to flash, picks is on him, wild growth, in comes Cabo, and they will be able to urchin strike him down. 2-0 on the fish.
So like the Dragon Call before here from Giants, they had the winning bottom lane that pushed it up as well to the tower so they could instantly rush it, and you have that Kalista, build up the Ren stacks, of course you can secure the Dragon. That was despite not even having teleport. But then Wolip just had to back away. As soon as Betsy left the mid lane, there's only one place he can go, and that's to the top lane. Because obviously he's not going to run down alone to that Dragon, you have full vision of the river. Wolip should just back away beforehand. He gave up another kill now. Trinity Force completed for Cabochard. 14 minutes in. Nobody's going to be able to stop him in the split push.
So if you're Giants Gaming right now, what do you have to do to try and wrestle control of this game back in? The Dragon seems like a good step one, but what's next?
Well, I want to play around my strongest member, and that's going to be the Kalista at this point here. BF Sword completed for him. You have an Alistar who's so good at diving towers. So for Frederick here, he honestly has to just say, I can't really help top lane. I can't really help the mid lane either. Gambit is controlling that side of the map. I need to go bottom lane then, have them push it into the tower, use the Alistar to dive that and get more kills on Forgiven and Eddie. Take that bot lane tower as well and get some gold for your team. Trying to constantly help a losing lane often just ends in you doing nothing because you are so afraid of jumping in and just giving up 1 or 2 more kills because you get counter-ganked by a stronger 2v2 lane, which is their Nidalee Fist in this case here for Cabochard and Diamond.
Right. Let's see if learn the lesson in time as Frederick has taken the Void Rush up, trying to stop Betsy. They're in the jungle of Giants Gaming. Frederick and Warlip a little bit afraid to move up here. This tower is going to get free pushed on. Maybe not exactly free as Cabochard finds a Prey Seeker in his face. Still a wave incoming. Warlip, you can tell he's feeling a little bit nervous though and just requesting that backup. Warlip hanging around there. Meanwhile, down to the bottom though, looks like we're back to the 2v2.
Yeah, but notice how every time Frederick shows himself top lane, it buys more time, or it buys time for Forgiven and Ghost of Pepper to just sit and farm and push out the wave, and don't really be too afraid of a gank coming in. So despite losing all the summoners, despite dying, they have been okay, and Frederick has basically left them alone for the last 5-6 minutes, and not really been able to accomplish a whole lot. The Dragon though was a good play from Giants. They're still though falling very far behind in gold, only 16 minutes in.
Yeah, and I think it's actually been really, really effective that Gambit, especially Diamond Procs, have done so much to try and worry Frederick and try to take away, counter jungle him and keep him on the back foot. And I feel like that's maybe prompting him to go and Void Rush up top all the time. Yes, there's Gambit members in the area that he wants to chase off, but they're also taking away as much as they possibly can. They're warding it constantly. They're trying to make sure that he's not comfortable or not welcome in that side of the jungle. And right now, as you mentioned, he hasn't really been able to do much in the bottom. He's left it alone.
Yeah, now it also bought a lot of time for Eddie to start warding off the bottom lane. We can see Giants, they keep being able to push in this wave here because they are so strong 2v2 together. Need to be a little bit careful here from Adri, just taking a lot of poke from Forgiven. But look what they can do with the wave. Always pressured into tower. Now Frederick is down here, setting up for a potential dive. Nobody's close from Gambit, but Cabochard does have teleport ready. That's going to be the saving grace in case a dive should happen here from Giants.
Waiting to see if that does occur. Frederick not quite going around the side. Audrey's checking very far forward once again. He did heal up a lot of the damage.
There we go.
In comes Godfrey, knocks back, goes to Pepper. Instantly, Frederick comes in, but the Tempered Fate falls down. Audrey is going to get chunked pretty low. Goes to Pepper, the heal up, Forgiven, able to make it happen. No,
it's a teleport, guys.
He's got the auto attacks. Teleport coming in. Warlib, and there is another one from Cabochard. Fish coming on to Audrey, but still, no one's down just yet. Very close calls. Betsy moving around the side, and he picks him up. Audrey's gone down, and now the Wild Growth on Betsy as the equalizer is thrown down. Goes to Pepper, gets the kill credit. Cabochard gets another, and just like that, 3-for-0 Gambit.
And that was such a great ulti from Ghost to Pepper here. He delayed everything. He even hit himself, so he was there. They couldn't kill him under the tower. He bought time for Cabochard then to teleport, and for the rest of Gambit to come down and help it. They turned it around. Giants, they suddenly realized what they could do, where they might be able to get a few kills, but it's just too late for them and almost too predictable at this point. And Gambit then punished him. 2 towers, more kills. Pepinero, let's see if he can do anything to clean up. He's all alone. He's going on Diamond now.
Yeah, Diamond could be in some trouble. He's going to go over the wall, trying to heal up Peppy.
That works.
Slices him down. Frederick comes in as well. Dragon's a minute away. This game has gotten bloody fast, Officio. We're not 20 minutes in. 4 to 5 is the only kill so far, but a lot of them occurred in just the last couple of minutes. Now Peppy and Frederick look to add to that tally. Frederick, though, he's stunned under tower a little bit too early, but Pepinero tags in, forcing the Wild Growth from Betsy, and he's got to back away.
Pepinero is Looking for some blood here. He knows he needs to start getting rolling. They need someone from Giants who can be the carry. Your top lane has been shut down completely. Your AD carry, while he got the kills early, that's been about it. Let's see it again here. So Giants, they know we can use the Alistar to dive. So we're going straight for Ghost of Paper. Right now, they want to try and kill him as fast as possible, but that ulti from Eddie buys so much time for the rest of Gambit. You can look at your minimap. Betsy's roaming down. TP from Cabochard as well, and suddenly we have the rest of Gambit killing him, and Werlib, he might die again.
Speaking of suddenly, Werlib's gone down as Cabochard was behind enemy lines. Another solo kill for him. Werlib is just not having a great game on this Rumble. Meanwhile, though, Giants will take the incentive to go ahead and start off Drake number 2.
Gambit clearly doesn't care about these dragons here.
They took a tower in mid-second here.
And I honestly understand 100% why Gambit is not risking taking any fights, because, as we mentioned, Adrian and Godfred were super strong from the early kills, so no reason to fight on the bottom lane when you have a 4-0 top laner who can just keep getting kills on the enemy Rumble, and you just play around that top side. Diamond, Betsy, and Cabochard, those 3 guys are the carries for Gambit in this game here.
Exactly, and to top it off, you know, this is the comp that they built. They said, let's not fight. Let's poke where we can. Let's try to make plays in lane. Let's try to build ourselves up a lead that the Giants cannot come back from. And look at it right now. 20 minutes in, their gold lead is pretty massive. Even if they're down 2 dragons, 5 towers to 1.
Yeah, it was like for Gambit, they didn't even have to make any plays in the early game. They could have waited for that Trinity Force to come in here, wait for a mid-game spike, then you can start grouping with Lulu, Corki, and Nidalee and like land that poke here. But because they've been able to outplay Giants on this side of the map here, where we see Diamond dance around once again, it just snowballed the whole game completely. I mean, Cabochard is so far ahead in items compared to what you normally would see him be, that you can just continue to play around him because he's not exactly going to fall off. He scales really well into the late game as well in terms of his one-on-one potential.
Well, I asked you about the Bruiser Fizz and, you know, why it's not Cinder Hulk, and clearly that's the answer right there, because Cabochard can just do this over and over and over. So,
but we have to remember, Giants had the option to lane swap on the Fizz once they saw there was no smite. To say, we don't want to risk a one-on-one lane. Also, with the Nidalee being there so strong in the early game, we don't think we can take that 2-on-2 fight. So we try and shut him down that way, deny him some farm early on. They took standard lane. Obviously paid off for Adrian and Godfred. Surely didn't pay off for Werlib in the top lane.
Speaking of swaps, though, you know, we're going to see Cabochard go down here now, while everyone else from Giants is more interested in the top side. Frederick's backed away. Pepinero had already come on down to defend this one, but it seems too little too late for Giants to try and do anything on this top side. Meanwhile, Pepinero is caught up. He's going to dash in onto Betsy. Wild growth. You're not going anywhere. But back to Fountain. Cabochard with his 5th kill of the game. I guess Freak was right. That Trinity Force does do tons of damage.
It does indeed do tons of damage here. And whenever you split up your team, you're just waiting for that one kill. So suddenly, Giants has to send down members to defend the lane where you just lost someone, and it opens up something else on the map. In this case, the Baron is open for Gambit. They have so many wards around it. They're going to spot Giants coming there. Just dying at 3 members, because look at the bottom lane. 2 guys from Giants trying to defend, and Pepinero is dead for another 10 seconds.
Cabochard's just too much of a threat. Giants can't push out on the map at all. They have really not been able to get rolling as a result of how well this Fizz has. So 3 members of Gambit on the Baron, uncontested. They managed to pick it up at 22 minutes into this game, and the lead extends 10,000 gold ahead to Fischio.
And Giants is a team, if you look at how they've been playing in the last few weeks here, where they of course picked up 4 wins, so they had a great start to the LCS. It's often been built around a strong early game. Frederick has been very active on his jungle champions, mainly the Evelyn. They get a few early kills, and they use that to really snowball either Pepinero or Werlib into more leads. This game here, and also the game against Fnatic where they had the role swap, they got completely shut down in the early game. And now we're seeing Giants then struggle to adapt and say, okay, we're losing this one lane here. What can we do instead? Like, do we just keep walking up there trying to gang it, or how do we adapt? How do we try and get back in this game? They had very few answers to what Gambit were doing, and it was too late. Once they decided, okay, maybe we can get something on the bottom lane. And then Gambit expected it, had everything ready for it, and it just ended up even worse for Giants.
Yeah, they just have really not been able to get anything done as a result, and I really want to put a lot of it on, I keep going back to this, onto Frederick, just not being able to do much in the early game. It's cost Giants so much this time. Cabochard jumps onto Pepinero, teleport coming in, but he might be dead before he gets there. Playful and Trickster, down goes Peppy. Could Cabochard 1v2? Urchin strike in, and Whirlip is in some trouble, but so is Cabo. Into the brush, shut down by Whirlip.
Toasted in the very end here. Whirlip managed to get a kill, but look once again. You send down more members than you have to, or well, you're basically forced to send down more members than you would normally to defend one lane, and suddenly the cross-map objective is open. Gambit gets one tower, pushing on to the next one, and this is where their poke comes in. We talked about this 4-1 setup they have. So many members who can hit the towers, so much poke. Adri, he's going down.
Oh, goodbye. Betsy will be able to pick him up now. Still with the Baron empowerment. Betsy tanking Whirlip. He's going to have to flash away. Spears and everything are flying their direction. Giants scrambling to defend these inhibitors, going all in. They don't need to worry about the poke game anymore. Godfred, he can only headbutt one. Pepinero is going to get exhausted, but he managed to take out Betsy all the same with that. Gambit decide not to push their luck. They're going to back away courtesy of a magical journey over the wall.
And I just realized Diamond has been around nearly every single kill, but he's not got to kill himself on assist.
He's not hitting those spears, man.
He's just been putting pressure, being there for potential counter ganks, or forcing other people off the towers, and then he's been killing the towers instead and taking away the jungle camps. He's not been able to get anything for himself. If you have him in fantasy, I'm sorry, but he's not going to give a whole lot of points.
Well, here in reality, he's doing quite well for Gambit, even if the score doesn't indicate. That's very true. 30 seconds on this next Dragon. Gambit could easily pick this one up. Giants, however, are pushing out of their base. The problem is they have a glaring weak side now in the top, which Pepinero's looking to remedy, but he's going to be a little locked up dealing with that for a while. And Gambit uses this opportunity to go back and stock up, ready themselves for the next fight.
We talked about how they pick and ban phase for Gambit. It looked very risky what they were doing, giving away so many power picks to Giants here. Was so tunnel on. We need to have this kite siege comp or poke comp here with the split pushing from Cabochard. But they've just been playing the early game so well. They've been using Diamond so well as well to decide, you know, where do we put the pressure here? Which lane do we need to make sure wins? And they basically said from the start of the game, okay, who's our most important member in the early game? That's going to be Cabochard right now. We need him to win the lane. Let's put a lot of resources into him. Betsy roamed up there. Diamond was nearby. And that allowed Cabochard as well to really get a good start.
Yeah, the start just kind of kept on going in this game. It's hard to talk about it being late because we're only 26.5 minutes in, but Gambit are already knocking on another inhibitor, or inhibitor turret should be. Peppy's going to go back, see if he can get back in time to defend this one. All of Gambit Gaming are down on the bottom side. Equalizer will be able to clear the wave away, but the tower is half its health gone. Still a very tense situation for these Giants as they're hemmed into their base, awaiting the Gambit push.
Given is moving, getting the shield from Betsy. You still have all that fantastic poke, and in case an engage should happen, Giants have no way of really getting a flank. It's just try to throw in the Alistar if you see someone like Forgiven hitting the tower, and that's basically what you can do. Goes to Pepper. We haven't seen too much from him because he hasn't really needed to do anything, but whenever he was needed, the tower dive in the bottom lane beforehand, he had a very, very good ulti to buy time.
Yeah, gets those cooldowns back up and ready, gets everyone a minute to assess. Look at those healing shrines too around. A lot of sustain available. Prox throws the spirits, dodged by Peppy. Meanwhile, Gambit go right back to the poke game, chipping away at this tower. And for Giants, I mean, what can they really do? The game has just gone so far out of their control, and they can't jump on Gambit anymore without suffering some serious repercussions, Deficio.
Well, yeah, you're at the point where you just gotta try and all-in engage, honestly. Pick up Godfred, throw him into the face of Forgiven or Betsy, and just try and see if you can one-shot a target from Gambit, instantly make it a 5 versus 4, and then try and clean up a few kills. Like, it's all you can do. You cannot just sit back and just wait. Your tower is gonna die. So Giants, they have to go soon. There we go.
Soon, Godfred, he's coming on in. They find Gosu Pepper. Down goes the Tempered Fate. Gives a second to reset. Gosu's going to heal up. There goes the Equalizer. In goes Pepinero. They don't have the damage in there. Is the cow thrown in? Diamond Prox chunked out, taken down by Audrey, but Giants are going to pay dearly as Cabochard picks up Godfred. Gosu Pepper around the side. The rest of Giants, however, they're melting right now. Frederick, Whirlip, Godfred all gone. Audrey might follow too. Cabochard, he's got the spear sticking in him, but they don't hurt that bad. And Audrey's got to back the old-fashioned way. He might not have a base to go to, though.
Oh, GMB just gonna look to end the game here. They got super minions already, 4 guys still alive. Giants, they had to try it. They just had to go for an all-in. It didn't work for them.
Too little, too late, it seems. Teleport comes in from Combo Shard after he backed the base. Nice little cheeky maneuver. He wants to pad those stats. Audrey dashes away, but not in time for Forgiven to take him down. And now the Nexus will fall as well. Sub 30 minutes as Giants continue to try and keep it alive, but no longer. Gambit Gaming pick up another.
Eddie not happy. He had to die in the end there. Or goes to Pepper. I'm so used to calling him Eddie.